16 to 24. And so if you can find kids in your communities and send them to that, get involved and, get them over to, it's just outside of Ottawa or in Guelph. There's one in Edmonton, there's one in Newfoundland now. They've been, I think, Firefly.
Firefly in
Edmonton. Exactly, yeah.
No, Firefly's in Calgary.
Edmonton as well, the other way to that.
10oaksproject.org.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the one in Guelph? Is it part of 10 Oaks?
No, it's a different one, and I just can't remember the name.
Because that'd be closer to Sardis.
Yeah, yeah. It
So
just,
do they have these workshops in various places every year, or is it the same place?
This would be like a camp, like a summer camp, so I think most of them are like a week-long program or a week or 2 weeks. And like a Project Acorn, I think is a week.
It's 4 days. It's like Thursday to Sunday, because most of these kids are working, and so, but the week-long one is 10 Oaks, which is, you can go to that as well, and you can be a counselor at that.
I
But it's
know
a
lots of
different
friends of
focus.
people that are counselors, and it's just amazing.
Durham is just about to launch their first LGBT leadership camp
Who is?
this summer. Durham.
Pflag Durham.
Pflag Durham is doing it.
Yeah, so find the leadership groups for those kids and get them, motivated.
Because a lot of kids don't know, like I would never have known about
At
that
that
stuff.
age, exactly.
And actually, I just learned about Project Acorn and 10 Oaks from some friends who had been counselors. And then I went to the Rainbow Health Organization at the Rainbow Health Ontario conference, and they did a workshop there. And I was like, oh my God!
Is Kate still involved with it at that point? Is that your director? She's in.
Yes, yes.
And Pflag goes up on the agency night, on the Saturday night, sort of the last night there, and not just Pflag, all of the agencies in the Ottawa area go up and talk to the kids about what's out there, everything that they can resource for help. So it just really gets them connected with each other. And as my daughter said when she went to Camp Firefly to learn about it, she came home and she said it was the first time in my life I felt alone. She was 16 years old, and it was the first time in her life she felt it. It's an amazing experience. If you can send kids to that and sort of get Pflag sending them to any of these organizations, it's a life-changing experience for them.
For sure. I'm thinking of a project that we just did back in April, well, Parm was part of, but it was actually started by, I guess, Reframe, which is the film festival here in Peterborough. They got some funding, and they brought up 2 filmmakers. So I facilitated the day, and then they brought up 2 filmmakers who had worked in social activist films and just, low budget kind of independent filmmakers. And they came up and worked with kids from all the GSAs. So there's almost 40 kids there, which is crazy. And one of the things that was, it was 2 days, a Thursday one week and a Thursday the next week. And the thing that came out of it most, I would say, was the films, they had to do in-camera editing, like they were kind of shot. But the thing is that they met each other, they connected. So we had kids from Campbellford, we had kids from, so we had the local high schools, not all of them, but some of them. And I forget where else, somewhere near Bowmanville, in there, right, and Clark. And Clark was interesting because it wasn't a GSA, it was an anti-bullying group. So none of those kids were identified in any way. So they were kind of like, what's going on? But that was amazing, right? Because how much are they bringing back to their school now, right? And now they've met people that are out, right? So but the thing that kids walked away with was just the networking, that they'd met other people. They were so charged up. And they were so sad that, like, at the end of, it was that weird, like, if I could be a barometer for their emotions, it was like, oh my God, it's over. And it was just like, so, but that's a huge part of it, is just meeting other kids, right? And that what's hard is in, in our small communities when kids don't even have meeting places, it's like, how do we get them together? How do we, and when those kids are afraid to be out, right? So, I think really trying to create things in your community, and maybe, like, for example, that was something that was a film, like the film people came to us and said, do you want to be on board with this? I'm like, of course we want to be on board with this. So, and there was actually a lot of different agencies involved. So RSO was the Rainbow Service Organization was involved, Pflag was involved, like everyone had contributed something to those 2 days. So again, it's looking at what you have in your community, pulling it together, and then you can, if you build it, it will grow. I think, anyway, but, it's a challenge to get those kids out.
Yeah, like you could brainstorm something with your group about how to draw out that leader, like perhaps have a fundraiser to send someone to 10 Oaks. You're gonna send somebody from the Sarnia area to 10 Oaks, and you're gonna raise funds in order to do that. And in order to qualify, they have to come to this website and fill in a registration form, and you'll vet them out of the registration form, and then you'll have raised the funds to send them, and you'll make that happen. It's a way where you can find a leader inside of your community that's a young person that can get you in touch with the rest of the young people. It might be something that would work for you guys.
And they don't have to be gay, by the way.
No.
It's gay, straight, transgender, it's kids, gay families, that you can open that up to anyone who's willing to come back and share, that information.
And that's a big point too, is that I think a lot of the kids that actually go to Camp 10 Oaks are kids of gay parents, and because that's one time where they get to talk about their parents in a different way, right? And they feel that they don't have to explain it.
Yeah.
They don't have to unpack it for people. People just go, oh yeah. So what do your moms do? It's easy.